Hello and good morning. It's Monday morning. You're watching Rajya TV. Let's have a look at the top headlines. Prime Minister exhorts youth in Kashmir to choose tourism over terrorism. Dedicates longest road tunnel to nation. Chief Justice of India urges judges to contribute more time to clear pending cases. Prime Minister shows all effort to reduce burden on the judiciary. Election Commission rejects Aam Aadmi Party's charges on the EVM tampering, asked it to introspect performance in Punjab polls instead. Over 250 people, including dozens of children, killed in devastating mudslides in Colombia. Tragedy after heavy rains flood southwest. And PV Sindhu clinches India Open Super Series title, beat world number 1 Carolina Marin in final to win second Super Series title. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has exhorted the youth of Jammu and Kashmir to choose between terrorism and tourism. Addressing a public meeting in Udhampur after inaugurating India's longest road tunnel between Kashmir Valley and Jammu, the Prime Minister said 40 years of bloodshed in Jammu and Kashmir has not benefited anyone. In a veiled attack against Pakistan, he said that the neighbour has not been able to take care of itself. He said that youth should not forget the Sufi culture of the state, or else they run the risk of pushing the future into darkness. He also said youth must assist the state government in transforming Jammu and Kashmir. In a reference to stone pelting youth, he said the stones can also be used to lay foundation of a new future.
एक तरफ कुछ भटके हुए नौजवान पत्थर मारने में लगे हैं, दूसरी तरफ उसी कश्मीर के नौजवान पत्थर काट करके कश्मीर का भाग्य बनाने में लगे हैं। मैं घाटी के नौजवानों से कहना चाहता हूं, आपके सामने दो रास्ते हैं जो आपके भाग्य को किस दिशा में ले जाएंगे। एक तरफ है टूरिज्म, दूसरी तरफ है टेररिज्म। हम सीमा पार के हमारे कश्मीर के हिस्से के नागरिकों को भी प्रगति करके दिखाना चाहते हैं कि देखिए कश्मीर कैसे विकसित होता है, और जिन लोगों ने आप पर कब्जा जमा के बैठे हैं उन्होंने आपको कितना बर्बाद किया है, ये हम करके दिखाने वाले हैं।
Earlier, the Prime Minister dedicated to nation the Chennai Nashri Tunnel. The all-weather route reduces distance between Jammu and Kashmir by 31 kilometers. Jammu and Kashmir Governor N.N. Vohra and Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti were also present at the occasion. After the inauguration, Modi, along with Vohra and Mehbooba, travelled in an open jeep through the tunnel for some distance. The 9-kilometer tunnel was built at the cost of 2,500 crore rupees. It bypasses the snow-bound upper reaches of Patni Top and reduces journey time by 2 hours. The tunnel is equipped with world-class security system and smart features like integrated traffic control system, surveillance ventilation and broadcast systems, firefighting systems and SOS call box at every 150 meters. There is also parallel escape tunnel with cross passages connecting to the main tunnel at the intervals of 300 meters.
ये टनल के कारण रोज 27 लाख रुपए का तेल बचने वाला है। इस टनल के कारण जो प्रवास है वो 2 घंटे से कम होने वाला है। पूरे इसमें हम जम्मू कश्मीर में 13 टनल बना रहे हैं और मुझे खुशी है कि इस रोड पर के अभी 5 टनल पूरी हुई है।
कि आज जिस टनल का उन्होंने आगाज किया है, इससे न सिर्फ हमारा सफर कम होगा बल्कि हमारे लोगों की दूरियां भी काफी हद तक दूर हो जाएंगी।
Prime Minister Modi assured the Chief Justice of India that government will make all efforts to back his resolve to reduce burden on judiciary and the pendency of cases. He was speaking at the closing ceremony of 150-year celebration of Allahabad High Court. He said the law is not only for the rich but also stands for the poor. He said it's time now to think about India which people want to create when nation marks 75 years of freedom in 2022. He urged those involved in the startup sector to explore areas where technology can help the judiciary. Earlier Chief Justice of India, J.S. Kehar, said shortage of judges in the country is a prime reason for delay in justice. He urged the legal fraternity to contribute more time in office to handle a large number of pending cases.
एक जज सिर्फ 5 दिन वेकेशन में बैठे और उसके पास ऐसे छोटे मोटे जिसमें बहुत दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है मगर जिसमें बहुत राहत मिलने की बात है, बेल हो, इंजंक्शन हो, जो भी आपको अच्छा लगे, अगर हम 5 दिन हर जज दें वेकेशन में तो हम 10 लगाते हैं तो आधे घंटे में, सवा घंटे में खत्म हो जाते छोटे मोटे मामले। तो हर जज 20-25 केस तो कर लेगा। इसमें सबकी कंट्रीब्यूशन जरूरी होगी। इसमें एडिक्वेसी और इनएडिक्वेसी का सवाल है, इसमें सक्सेस और फेलियर का सवाल है, इसमें जज के सक्सेस का सवाल है, इसमें लिटिगेंट की सक्सेस का सवाल है। उसको एक फैसला 1 साल में मिलता है या कुछ महीने में मिलता है या 10 साल में मिलता है, इसका सवाल है। इसमें अपने देश का सवाल है।
इस कानूनों का बोझ सामान्य मानवी पर, कोर्टों पर जो लादा गया, भारत सरकार का प्रयास है कि हमारी न्याय व्यवस्था को आधुनिक आईसीटी टेक्नोलॉजी का भरपूर लाभ मिले।
President Pranab Mukherjee has said that imparting skill trainings to youth is a key for creating huge employment. Laying the foundation stone of Software Technology Park in Devgarh in Jharkhand, the President said the basic problem of India is job creation. He dedicated 35 skill development centers to the nation online. He also laid foundation stone of Drivers Training Center at Devgarh and Godda. The President said the centers will mitigate the shortage of skilled drivers in the region. Earlier, while laying the foundation stone of Ravindra Bhavan at Jaipal Singh Stadium in Ranchi, the President said the tolerance is the bedrock of a culture and informed debate should be encouraged.
हमारा संस्कृति, हमारा जो दैनंदिन आचार आचरण, जीवनचर्या हो रहा है, वो एक कंपोजिट कल्चर का हिसाब से हम मानता। With the growing population, developmental consciousness and developmental requirements both are expanding very fast.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will chair the South Asian Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Finance Ministers meet today in the national capital. Finance Minister from Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Myanmar, Nepal and Sri Lanka, apart from the officials of these countries and Asian Development Bank, will also take part in this meet. The member countries have come up with a vision for economic growth of the sub-region, which will be launched by Jaitley. The platform provides an opportunity for the member countries to discuss and exchange ideas and strive to foster better cooperation in the sub-region. Myanmar has recently joined the SASEC program as its 7th member and will be officially welcomed during today's event. Tax evasion of over 5 crore rupee under the goods and service tax regime would be non-bailable offence. The police will be having an authority to make an arrest without the warrant once GST regime comes into force. The Central GST Act provides that if amount of tax evaded or the amount of input tax credit wrongly availed or the amount of refund wrongly taken exceeds 5 crore rupees, it shall be cognizable and non-bailable. The government has set a target date of 1st July for the rollout of the GST, which will subsume central excise, service tax, VAT and other local levies. As Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal escalates protest over the alleged tampering of the EVM machines during the assembly elections held recently. The Election Commission has hit out at the Delhi Chief Minister and asked him to instead introspect on the party's performance in the Punjab. In a strongly worded letter, the poll body said the only alternative for the verification of results was to file a petition before the High Court. It reiterated that EVMs were tamper-proof. The Aam Aadmi Party alleged that poll authorities in Punjab had refused to accept its demand to tally results with a paper trail audit. The party had moved the commission over reliability of the machines and the results of the Punjab polls. The Aam Aadmi Party's move comes in the wake of upcoming MCD elections on April 23rd. Congress and other political parties had also raised concern over the issue of EVM tamperings in the recently concluded assembly elections in 5 states. On the other hand, BJP has dismissed such allegations. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has decided to replace 9,30,430 EVM machines brought before 2006. These machines are likely to be purchased before 2018 when next general elections are slated to be held.
उस लक्षण को दबा दिया, बीमारी का इलाज नहीं करा, जांच नहीं करी कि क्या ईवीएम के सॉफ्टवेयर से छेड़छाड़ हुई है, क्या ईवीएम के हार्डवेयर से छेड़छाड़ हुई है, किसने छेड़छाड़ करी है और ऐसा क्यों है कि एक ही राजनीतिक दल को लाभ इसका पहुंच रहा है जब भी छेड़छाड़ होती है।
ईवीएम जो है वो टेम्परिंग प्रूफ मेथड था, इसलिए इसको अडॉप्ट किया गया था, इसलिए इसको लिया गया था। और ऐसे में जो अरविंद जी या कांग्रेस पार्टी या कुछ लोग इस तरीके की बात कर रहे हैं, तो मैं उन्हें याद दिलाना चाहती हूँ कि अभी पंजाब में जो है इतने अच्छे बहुमत से कांग्रेस की पार्टी जीती है, तो क्या वो भी टेम्पर्ड था?
इलेक्शन कमीशन को संज्ञान तुरंत लेना चाहिए और आखिर क्यों बार बार इलेक्शन कमीशन के मांग के बावजूद और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्देश के बावजूद वीवीपैट मशीन्स नहीं लगाई जा रही है, उसका भी उस पे भी कड़े कदम उठाने चाहिए।
Now, today is the last day of filing nominations for the MCD polls. The scrutiny of nominations for the 3 municipal corporations in National Capital will take place on April 5th. The last day of withdrawal of the nomination is April 8th. The poll to these 3 corporations will be held on April 23rd and the counting of votes will take place on April 26th. BJP has been ruling MCD since 2007, the last poll held in 2012, while the New Delhi Municipal Corporation and South Delhi Municipal Corporations have 104 seats each. East Delhi Municipal Corporation has 64 seats. Congress Party has announced its second list of 127 candidates for the MCD polls. The party has so far announced names of 267 candidates. Its first list contained 140 candidates. There are 272 wards in 3 municipal corporations. Congress has fielded majority of first-timers in the election, giving preference to youth over experience and also factoring winnability. The BJP has announced its first list of 160 candidates for the MCD polls. The party has decided not to field its sitting councillors in the elections, has brought in new faces including 4 Muslim candidates. In the first list, the BJP has announced names of 58, 35 and 67 candidates for the South Delhi, East Delhi and North Delhi municipal corporations respectively. The JDU has released its 6th list of 18 candidates for the polls, taking total number of the contestants to nearly 120. The Nitish Kumar-led party has targeted to fight on about 150 of the 272 seats. The government has proposed a new set of rules for processing right to information applications, complaints and appeals. It sought suggestions from the public by April 15th. The proposed rules, aims at replacing RTI rules of 2012, have been replaced by Department of Personnel and Training on its website for comments from public. A major proposal now allows Central Information Commission to convert a complaint into a second appeal. This means it can order disclosure of information to an applicant who has come under complaint clause of the RTI Act, which was not the case earlier. Another provision says that proceeding before the Commission will abate in case of death of the appellant. The new draft rules also allow Commission to use its discretion over allowing withdrawal of appeal or a complaint if appellant requests, but such requests cannot be entertained once the matter has been decided by it. A look at what else is expected to make news today in Day Ahead. The Election Commission has sought an explanation from O. Paneerselvam faction of ADMK over electric poll symbol being misrepresented with two-leaf symbol ahead of RK Nagar by-polls. The poll panel in notice has said the party was disseminating wrong information to confuse the voters. Oman Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah will meet External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj today. Later in the day, he'll also call upon Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The External Affairs Ministry had earlier emphasized on India-Oman close relations and regular exchange of high-level bilateral visits. Spiritual leader Dalai Lama will start his 10-day visit to Arunachal Pradesh, during which he's scheduled to visit Lumla, Tawang, Dirang, Bomdila and Itanagar. Meanwhile, China has ramped up its rhetoric against Dalai Lama's visit. India has, however, rejected China's objection and reiterated that it should refrain from meddling in the internal affairs of India. A special CBI court in Delhi will consider the charge sheet filed by the CBI against Himachal Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh, his wife and others. The charge sheet is regarding allegedly amassing assets worth rupees 10 crore disproportionate to the known source of income. Time for a short break. More news on the other side.
Bismillah Khan, the legendary maestro who brought Shehnai to the center stage of Indian classical music in 1937. With his heart-touching rendering of Rag Rafi, Ustad mesmerized millions of hearts on the eve of the First Republic Day. But most significant was when India achieved independence, and Bismillah Khan performed from the ramparts of the Red Fort on 15th August 1947. Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna.
Welcome back. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh has condemned the incidents of political violence in Kerala, saying no civilized society can tolerate senseless violence, as no party can claim monopoly in a democracy. Speaking at valedictory function to celebrate Sung Idolok P. Parmeswaram's 90th birthday in Kerala, the Union Home Minister said the efforts must be made to put an end to the mindless political violence in the state. Singh said political leaders are now facing the problem of integrity, while Sung Idolok Parmeswaram was able to overcome it much earlier. He also highlighted Kerala's achievement in various fields, including education and health. The Home Minister also inaugurated Sri Sharda Vidya Mandir in the state and emphasized on the importance of education system in building the character of a student.
Social and political awareness, respect for our culture and religion, and unflinching faith in humanity and goodness is something which we first learn in school.
One policeman was killed and 15 other security personnel were injured in a grenade attack by militants in Nauhata area of Srinagar. Militants hurled a grenade on a police party when they were withdrawing from the duty on the Sunday evening. Security forces have launched search operation in the area to nab the terrorists. The official said miscreants had engaged the cops by pelting stones on them in the same area. Sunday's attack is second such attack in Srinagar in as many days. On Saturday, militants fired at an army convoy on the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway at Bemina in Srinagar, wounding 3 soldiers. The Met Department has predicted thunder showers, squall and hailstorm in mid and lower hills of Himachal Pradesh from today onwards. Mid and higher hills are expected to witness light showers. Change of weather comes after mercury reached 38.8 degrees Celsius, 8 notches above normal in certain parts of Himachal Pradesh. However, there was no significant change in minimum temperatures in Lahore and Spiti Valley, while Kinnaur district recorded a low of 1.4 degrees Celsius and 5 degrees Celsius respectively. Manali registered minimum temperature of 6 degrees Celsius. A look at what else is making news across the country in Nationwide. Former Samajwadi Party spokesperson Gaurav Bhatia had quit the party in the run-up to the UP Assembly elections, has joined BJP. Bhatia was additional Advocate General of the Uttar Pradesh government during the SP rule, said that Prime Minister Modi and BJP President Amit Shah inspired him to join BJP. ISRO has engaged for the first time a private sector industry to make a full multi-crore heavy-duty satellite. This has been done as ISRO has been unable to keep pace with satellite fabrication. The consortium led by Alpha Design Technologies Bengaluru is tasked to make two full satellites for India's navigation system. Senior Samajwadi Party leader Shivpal Yadav has ruled out formation of any political outfit or joining any political party. A day after SP patron Mulayam Singh Yadav said that the final decision of forming another party was yet to be taken, the former UP minister said he was not going to join any other political party, not going to float any political party separately. Sri Lankan Navy on Sunday arrested 6 Indians who were allegedly trying to smuggle 13.5 kilos of heroin into the country. According to a statement by the Lankan Navy, 3 suspected boat movements was continuously monitored by the patrolling ship and suspects were disguised as fishermen. Now, a top international story. More than 250 people are dead, including many children, in devastating mudslides in Mokowa in southwest Colombo. This after unusual amount of rain swept the area on Friday. The rescuers are now looking for missing people and identifying the bodies, and the death toll is expected to go up. While the climate change has been labelled as reason behind the disaster, locals say this was tragedy waiting to happen.
Rescuers in southern Colombia are scrambling to reach more than 100 people who are missing, looking desperately into the debris after devastating mudslides tore through entire communities. Close to 250 people are reported dead, including dozens of children, after torrential rains on Friday night caused 3 rivers surrounding Mocoa in Putumayo province to overflow, sending a torrent of mud surging through the city. The landslide struck in the early hours of Saturday morning when many people were asleep.
Ella se llama Luisa Valera Chundó y Jansaso y ella es una niña que le pregunta por el nombre del papá y ella lo dice.
Sí, estoy buscando a mis 3 hijas, 2 hijas y una nietica. Están desaparecidas al momento no las encontramos. Y lo que yo le pido a todo el mundo, a toda la sociedad, que por favor necesito ayuda.
The muddy deluge flattened homes, bridges and highways. Power and water supplies to Mocoa have been cut and the hospital system has shut down. While several children have been reunited with their parents, many of them are still in shelters. President Juan Manuel Santos has declared a state of emergency. He visited the victims of the landslide on Sunday. More than 1,000 soldiers and police are involved in relief effort in Putumayo province that continued through the weekend. However, intermittent downpour is hampering rescue work. The authorities have speeded up efforts to identify the bodies.
Lamentablemente el número de personas fallecidas crece cada momento, llevamos ya 207, es el último dato que tengo. Algo muy importante, ya se inició el proceso de identificar los cadáveres.
While Colombia is no stranger to mudslides, a third of the region's expected monthly rain fell during one night. Authorities say this was a disaster caused by climate change. Landslides have struck the region several times in recent months, and Santos critics say this was a tragedy that could have been avoided. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The detention of anti-government protesters continued in Russia for second successive Sunday as dozens of people were arrested during opposition protests in central Moscow for breaching public order. A group of nearly 100 anti-corruption protesters was stopped by police as they were marching towards the Kremlin. The organizers of the protests, who were facing an investigation, said they were young people and ordinary students from Moscow and have nothing to do with opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who was arrested last week. Nearly 1,000 people were held during protests in Moscow last week, led by Navalny. The opposition has called for resignation of Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev over corruption charges. Navalny was sentenced to 15 days in prison for his role in last Sunday's demonstrations.
важно, грубо говоря, масштаб этой проблемы. Просто скорее рассматривать ситуацию о том, что у народа появились какие-то вопросы, и ответов не было получено. То есть, как бы, когда люди пытались высказаться на этот счет, были...
A look at what else is making news across the world in World Wrap. Former Nepal Prime Minister Baburam Bhattara and several other leaders were arrested during protest outside Election Commission office in Kathmandu on Sunday. They were protesting against new provision that bars them from contesting local polls on their respective party symbols. Four missiles fired from Afghanistan on Sunday landed in northwest Pakistan region, triggering panic among residents. The missiles were fired from upper Kurram region of Afghanistan, Patkias province. One of the missiles hit a mosque while another destroyed a shop in a remote area. No incident of loss of life has been reported yet. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina reaffirmed her country's commitment not to harbour elements inimical to any neighbouring nations as Indian Army Chief General Bipin Rawat made a courtesy call on her. Army Chief called on Sheikh Hasina just before ending his 3-day visit to the country. Britain's airport and nuclear power stations were put on high alert amid fears that systems may be targeted by terrorist hackers. Over the last 24 hours, agents give a series of warnings stating that terrorists might have discovered means of bypassing scanners in the airport and security at nuclear facilities. PV Sindhu clinched the Indian Open Super Series title after beating world number 3 Carolina Marin in the final on Sunday. The third-seeded Indian dominated the match from the start, winning it straight sets 21-19, 21-16. This was Sindhu's second Super Series title of her career, having earlier won China Open in November 2016. This was also second title of the year for 21-year-old after she won Said Modi International Tournament in January. With the win, Olympic silver medalist improved her record to 4-5 against the Marine. Victor Axelsen of Denmark clinched the men's single title by beating Chinese Taipei Tien Chu Chu in straight games.
I think it is one of the very important tournaments, and of course the Super Series. So, starting of the year with the Super Series, I won I think after China Open, this is my second one, and of course it is one of the important tournaments. I would like to thank the crowd, the spectators, because they were really very supportive, and I think home ground, so it's been really nice because the whole stadium was full cheering for both of us, so it was really very nice.
That's for now. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more. Thank you.